Is Marvel losing its magic? For years, the Marvel Cinematic Universe reigned supreme, dominating box offices and shaping pop culture with its intricate web of interconnected stories and blockbuster characters. But recently, cracks have begun to show. Box office disappointments, audience fatigue, and critical backlash have challenged what was once an unstoppable empire.
You get an opportunity as a filmmaker to work on movies that are cultural events like this.
But after Endgame, Marvel had a problem. This happened to Iron Man.
You can rest now.
And Captain America turned into this guy.
Maybe
Meanwhile, television is experiencing a renaissance, captivating audiences with rich storytelling and complex character arcs that are shifting fan obsession from flashy capes to deep emotional journeys. So what happened to Marvel's unstoppable momentum? In this video, we'll explore the rise and potential fall of Marvel and why many viewers are turning to television as the new home for compelling superhero stories. Marvel's golden era was nothing short of revolutionary. Beginning with Iron Man in 2008, Marvel introduced audiences to a world where superheroes lived side by side, their stories woven tightly together across films. This cinematic universe created cultural icons out of characters like Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, turning superhero movies into must-see events. For over a decade, each new release felt fresh, exciting, and meaningful. However, the momentous conclusion to this era came with Avengers: Endgame in 2019, a film that seemed to tie up nearly every loose end and give fans a satisfying closure to a beloved saga. But once that chapter closed, the signs of strain became increasingly evident. The loss of key characters left a vacuum that Marvel has struggled to fill. The narrative direction became confusing as the multiverse saga unfolded without clear purpose, and the rapid-fire release of movies and TV shows flooded the market, overwhelming fans rather than enticing them. What followed was less an evolution and more a symptom of oversaturation. Marvel's golden age quietly gave way to fatigue. From 2021 to 2023, Marvel dramatically increased its output, releasing more than 6 movies, 8 TV shows, and several animated projects, with even more announced on the horizon. This relentless pace seemed designed to keep the MCU constantly in the public eye, but the strategy backfired as many viewers found themselves unable to keep up. Where the early phases of the MCU had been celebrated for their careful pacing and anticipation building, the new flood of content felt more like a chore than a treat. Instead of looking forward to each release as a special event, fans began to feel overwhelmed and fatigued. When every new movie or show is pitched as essential viewing to understand the next big storyline, it diminishes the excitement. The problem with Marvel's recent output is not just its quantity, but also the declining quality that many viewers and critics have noted. Films like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania underperformed both critically and commercially, signaling that Marvel's formula was no longer resonating. Television offerings have been a mixed bag at best. Secret Invasion, a high-profile Disney Plus series, was widely panned by critics for its writing and pacing. She-Hulk divided audiences with its tonal inconsistencies and humor, sparking debates about whether Marvel's signature style was becoming stale. Superhero movies used to feel like major cultural events, moments where audiences would gather and feel genuine anticipation for what would happen next. Now, superhero stories often feel routine. The concept of the multiverse has introduced a narrative flexibility where death and consequences seem impermanent. Characters return from the dead or from alternate realities so frequently that stakes lose their meaning. When nothing truly feels at risk, emotional investment dwindles. Marvel's pivot to streaming through Disney Plus was intended to expand its reach and rejuvenate interest in the franchise. Early successes like WandaVision garnered critical acclaim and sparked fan excitement, but the finale left many viewers divided. Loki was a fan favorite for its creativity and charisma, but ultimately failed to build sustained momentum beyond its initial season. Subsequent shows like Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, Hawkeye, and Secret Invasion have received uneven responses, with many viewers finding these series underwhelming or lacking the emotional depth and rewatchability of top-tier TV hits. Television is currently enjoying a renaissance, ushering in what many call a new golden age. Unlike films, TV shows now offer extended runtimes that allow for more nuanced, detailed character development and story arcs that unfold over many hours. This format delivers what feels like cinematic experiences stretched across multiple episodes, creating immersive worlds that respect the audience's intelligence and emotional investment. Shows like The Last of Us have combined powerful storytelling with cinematic production values to create emotional depth rarely seen in superhero movies today. The superhero genre itself is far from dead. Rather, it's the way stories are told that requires reinvention. Recent hits outside the MCU have breathed new life into the genre by embracing creativity and risk-taking. Shows like The Boys have introduced a satirical, brutally honest look at superheroes, exposing their flaws and moral ambiguity. Despite the challenges, there is still hope for Marvel's resurgence. To regain its footing, Marvel needs to refocus on character-driven storytelling, where the emotional journeys of heroes take precedence over endless spectacle and cameo appearances. Slowing down its release schedule could help rebuild excitement and anticipation rather than fatigue. Audiences today crave depth, bold storytelling, and emotional payoff. Television is currently providing these elements far more consistently than Marvel's recent output. The superhero genre is not dying. Rather, viewers are turning away from the kind of formulaic, spectacle-driven storytelling that has come to define the MCU in recent years. Unless Marvel adapts to these changing expectations, it risks becoming a cautionary tale once a pioneer of pop culture dominance. Now just another studio chasing empty spectacle without soul. What do you think? Can Marvel bounce back, or is it time for a new era of storytelling to take center stage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more brutally honest pop culture analysis because we're just getting started.